Hey, it's Tony here with a live cast between two high MMR players. On the bottom we have SaraTzch. I think she is a 2000 plus MMR player. And at the top playing as red we have Steelsane, who is, I believe, is right now at the 1900 range. But they're both extremely talented players, being around the scene for a very long time. Sara is a elite specialist with tanks and crawlers, whereas Steelsane is a marksman specialist, starting with the mustangs and crawlers, and of course the marksman. With Sara, she did choose to get 2 arc lights, and Steelsane also chose to get 2 arc lights in round 1 in anticipation of the very extremely deadly blue crawlers from the elite specialists. Unfortunately, there are no blue crawlers. I think it was just pure muscle between these tanks and arc lights. All right, the cards redeployment is a very good utility card. It allows you to shift the position of the field later on. So if you're a new player, don't be afraid to experiment with redeployment. Sometimes you can move one of these larger units that has been contributing very heavily on one side onto the other side, and that will get you a tower advantage. So overall, I think it's a very flexible card, and they both took it, so I'm glad that they did. So it seems like the game plan is just a bit more chaff from Steelsane. Added a extra arc light, 2 sets of fans, whereas for Sara, continues to adding on these blue arc lights. This one is already level 3, so there's a very good possibility that she was going to get range on these arc lights. Maybe not range, they're engaging in the battle fairly quickly, but once these mustangs get range, I think we'll need to have range just to counter that. There is a pack of cheeky crawlers coming back from Steelsane at the corner. And Sara did get a pack of these blue crawlers. Blue crawlers are just so deadly in the early rounds because nothing really can kill them effectively, not even level 1 arc lights. You really need higher level units to bring them down. Yeah, unfortunately, even with the tower debuff from Steelsane, there's just not enough damage to kill everything from Sara. So there's a couple ways that Steelsane can kind of bring this back. So first, let's see the units. Fire Badgers is interesting. They are 4 packs of crawlers that's already on the field. So Fire Badgers is interesting. So Steelsane took the Fire Badgers. The Phoenixes are interesting. I think it adds another dimension of problems. It's not as good because Steelsane already has a lot of anti-air, but I think what it really does is it creates a pretty powerful counter against the Fire Badgers, assuming that the Steelsane are going to put the Fire Badgers forward, which they are. So it's a bit of unfortunate and also a mind game that's going on because right now the Fire Badgers are just going to get shot at immediately. Actually, no. These Phoenixes are going to hit these fans and then going for the Fire Badgers after. Oh, this is moving even further around. So, okay, so the plan for Sara seems to be to get this tower as quickly as possible. We have the majority of the army positioned right here. She actually sold a pack of the level 1 fans, didn't need the extra chaff, and also anticipating Fire Badger, and instead swap for No, it's just a repositioning of the level 1 crawlers, so they're protecting these arc lights. These are very small moves, right? Because if you had the crawlers here, they would just die immediately to the Fire Badgers, whereas the crawler here provides support, allowing this particular arc light to do damage to the most of the mustangs, while these guys are getting tower. So very small movement, resulting in fairly significant changes to the board, because without these crawlers, the pack of Fire Badgers and Mustangs will be able to finish the arc light a lot quicker, and therefore participating in the defense with the rest of the army against the tower, therefore delaying the tower, right? So there's a lot of far-reaching consequences from just a small, simple move. Without tower debuff, then this side will do a lot better, right? So these are just very tiny things that the high-level players pay attention to. Okay, so yeah, range on the Arclight this turn. Excellent choice. There is no range on the Mustang just yet, so I probably want to go for, instead of range, maybe even charge shot first, just so that I can take care of the fire badgers a bit quicker. But range is not bad either, because it allows the Arclight to have a fighting chance against the marksman as well. Steelsane is getting range for their Arclights as well. I think this is more of a reactive play, anticipating range on these more upgraded Arclights. In terms of chaff clear, there really isn't that much to do at the moment. Sure, there's level 2 crawlers. So he's setting up a position down here. Overall, I do like Sarah's boards just a little bit more, but it's anyone's game at this point, right? So the marksman, once the chaff is clear, the marksman is going to do a lot of work on these Arclights. Well, the problem is, will the chaff clear quickly enough? And right now, by the looks of it, the answer is no. And also, there's not enough chaff from Steelsane to prevent these Arclights from doing damage, right? These ones are doing a ton of damage to these individual units. So Steelsane has two problems: is lacking chaff clear at the front lines, because both of his fire badgers are in the back lines defending the flanks that were never there. And he himself does not have sufficient chaff, allowing these Arclights to gain levels. And it's a very dangerous thing, because we have a lot of Arclights up front already. And once they have enough levels, they can easily switch into elite marksmen. And therefore, you have a very tough game or uphill battle right here at the front. I'm not sure about this swap, because yeah, so I would have kept that Arclight there. I would simply just add this pack of fire badgers in. Otherwise, because right now you're losing this fight again. If with the Arclight, you still have a chance to well, you still lose it because he's got a charge shot, and I don't think the Arclight was level 2. However, by swapping it out, you're guaranteed to lose this round, which means these pack of crawlers might even get a level. And therefore, it's just so difficult to break in this flank. So that, I don't think that was the right move to get rid of the Arclight. Looking at the front line here, it seems like nothing has really changed, right? We continue to have the exact same problem as the last turn. There is a insufficient amount of chaff clear, and it seems to be a lack of chaff as well. I think, yeah, Mustang got range, so they were able to stay quite a bit longer in the fight, therefore contributing to that chaff clear. But there is just not enough chaff or continuous chaff. That's one of the problems playing as a defender, because the overall line of your chaff is shorter. So what I mean by that is, when you're playing aggressively, you have all the space down here for you to add chaff, right? So in the case of Sarah, she has the first round of chaff here. You can put a second round of crawler here. You can put a third round of crawler here. And then you can start supplementing with fans, right? Fans here would arrive after the third round of crawler, and then more fans down here. So that's almost 5 rounds of chaff. But if you're playing defensively, so in this case, you have your first round of fans here. These crawlers probably arrive at the same time as those fans, so I will count them as first round. Second round of crawlers here. And if you want to put fans behind the tower, so that's your third round of chaff. And then fourth rounds of fangs right down at the bottom. It doesn't really make sense to put a round of crawlers or fans up front because they'll simply just get destroyed without any damage coming in from these arc lights. So that's the advantage of playing aggro, right? Okay, so this round we have Napalm on these Fire Badgers. Napalm is a great tech to have early on because of the 350 per second continuous damage. At this stage, they're kind of useless because these tanks have 8,000 hit point, Sabertooth, level 3 tanks, right? These ones get taken out immediately. I mean, sure, these ones got napalm, they do last for 20 seconds, but even these crawlers, they will walk through the fire for about a second, right, taking the full 350 damage, and then they can still make through. Yeah, it's a good technology early on, but right now it's just too little too late. That's the sort of technology used to prevent units from getting leveled, because by the time they get through it, they have taken so much damage that they're just not able to stay in and fight. Okay, so it looks like it might be the final round here, and Sarah is going for the kill with the nuke. Okay, interesting nuke. I think this will catch everything unless they... Yeah, it will catch everything. And shield doesn't really help because by the time the shield, the nuke arrives, there's a good chance that these two Arclight will go in and destroy the shields. Rhino drop in the back is interesting. I think he might be able to get a tower debuff. This side is just a very strong aggressive. This Sabertooth is unkillable. I don't think even the Fortress can out DPS this Sabertooth right here, level 6 with the Nano. Not exactly sure what can Steelsane do. I think he lost a lot of tempo once these Arclights start to get leveled. I mean, this is level 4, this is level 5. With Charge Shot doing 8,000 damage per hit. That is, you know, 6 shots, 7 shots away from just killing a Fortress. And these guys shoot every second. So, yeah. This nuke, it's gonna take everything. Whenever it's gonna get these wasps, maybe. Nope, didn't even get the wasp. Wasp continues on the tower, and that is the end of the game. So I think it was a valiant defense by Steelsane here. Taking a look at the battlefield here. So where things went wrong, okay? Well, first of all, let's look at Sarah's board where things went right. I think that little small move of moving the crawlers over here so that this side will get that extra buff to take the tower, that was really good because that allows some of these Arclights to get leveled faster. With Steelsane, I think this flank was never fully realized, and he realized that, right? So he got rid of these units. But that's a lot of wasted resource because what that allows these units to do is to continue to deal damage and level. Swapping out the Arclight, I think it was a mistake for Fire Badgers. He eventually put the Fire Badgers here, but it was a mistake. Getting Napalm, I think it was a bit of a mistake as well at that stage of the game. He could be better off with an extra fort, for example. Maybe on this side because of the level 4 Phoenix here. The chaff was never, I think it started from round 3 when we noticed there was a chaff problem. It was never really remedied. We still have the same amount of chaff on round 7 as we had in round 3. And it just continues to be a problem. So imagine if he's got 2 or maybe even 3 extra pack of crawlers that just streams in. By the time the last crawler streams in, there should be no more chaff on the opponent's board, with the exception of these fans, right? I think. But what that means is these fortresses will start to hit the tanks, will start to hit the arc lights. It won't kill the saber-tooth, unfortunately, and that was a problem that was never solved because just not enough resource. But the chaff will help a lot in kind of get these fortresses to shoot at these arc lights. But it's the small things, right? It's the small things that slowly snowball out of control for Sarah. So it's excellent game. I hope you enjoyed this game, and I'll see you on the next one.